Okay, so basically, it all started whenever I was younger. Like, I don't know, I was a kid, maybe 8 or 9, and I remember having these really like horrific like nightmares or like night terrors, and my parents said that multiple times I had like woken up in the middle of the night, or they had woken up to me walking around in circles, of like around the coffee table, just like scream. Please tell me y'all heard that. Hello?
Come in from the house because my outlet sock said it's getting a difficult reading, but my baby's not even wearing the outlet. Like, it was on the charger, and I'm assuming the ghost took it off because it's missing, and we can't find it. It's on like 7 o'clock. So we bought the inside ring for the sole purpose of trying to catch stuff like this, but we got woke up to banging and knocking on the walls. So I turned the inside ring on to watch it. You can see it's live view. I've got my phone in my hand. Jesus Christ, you asshole. Jesus Christ, you asshole. So I go back in my room, and then I catch this on the ring. Now, the ring is stationary. It does not move in any way, shape, form, or fashion. It is stationary. It does not move. It does not rotate. It should not be doing that. It's sitting on the hutch where the dolls are. Now, this is a screenshot from when the stationary ring was moving, twisting by itself. I screenshotted. This is the reflection in the microwave. Now, that, I'm going to put stickers so you know what I'm talking about. But that's the bottom half of the microwave reflection is the kitchen counter. And then you see straight across, that white thing is the ring. I'm going to show you a picture of our ring too. But it looks like someone real short is standing there. You can see the head, the body, and the arm extended, touching the ring, twisting it back and forth. Now, I hate to use this word, but I had to manipulate the image with a bunch of different like filters and stuff to try and see. But I'm trying to be as honest as I can. So yes, I messed with the picture, but only like the color. Only the color. I never like edited anything inside it, anything like that. All I did was manipulate the color of the image. And you can clearly see somebody standing in there like messing with it. Somebody really short. Because where the ring, the bottom part of the white ring is the bottom of the cabinet. And the cabinet is probably right under my chest. So it looks like the size of a child. And that the stuff that happens is very playful, like a child. So this is the ring. It does not move. Like, you can move it, but it doesn't like spin or anything. It just has screws where you can screw it on the wall. See, that's the ring that you see in the reflection. The ring was just sitting on this shelf, just like this, and when it was rotating.
Y'all comment down below which one y'all think is true, especially the first one, because did y'all see that person at the end? If you gotta go back and rewind it, it's a person at the end, at the very end, that he caught. So I don't know if they was making a joke of it or not. But the second lady, I studied her whole page. She been having all sorts of huntings. But let's get back into it.
I have video footage of this. I will share it at the end. Nobody thinks it's real. Like, it seems like it's doctored footage, but it's not. I swear on my life. Basically, both my sister and my old roommate used to work at this, like, music school daycare center for kids in the Upper East Side. The music classes would happen upstairs, but downstairs in the basement, there was this, like, daycare situation, and you had to work down there. And they both hated being down there. And I'd been down there a few times too. It is really scary. Like, you know when you just get a feeling about a place? Like, that is the basement. It was horrible. They would both, like, hear voices when their co-teacher hadn't showed up yet. Or, like, the cleaner would go downstairs and all the toys would be arranged in, like, a circle. And she'd be, like, in tears being like, are you guys playing a prank on me? I seriously, like, I don't feel safe here. The kids would all say really creepy shit. Like, they'd say, like, there's a really, like, mean guy in, like, the tunnel, like, a little play tunnel thing. Or, like, there's, like, someone mean over in, like, the dark corner of the basement. So when COVID hit, obviously no one was going into the daycare. It essentially shut down. But the owners installed cameras just in case, like, anything happened while they weren't there. And it picked up the most insane shit ever. It's 1.5 minutes long, so here you go.
I have one for y'all. I haven't shared this one yet because it really freaks me out. Same as the other 100 stories I have stored up in my noggin that I just haven't been able to bring myself to talk about on here yet. Back in like 2012, I was still in high school and I had an older friend who was a stay-at-home mom who had 4 kids. She was my best friend at the time. I spent a lot of time at her house helping her with her kids, helping her clean her house, just hanging out, you know, having fun. She lived in this old white farmhouse out in the middle of the woods. And yes, we do live in the Appalachian Mountains. But the house always gave me the creeps. One day when my mom took me and dropped me off there, she was like, hey, my best friend used to live in this house. She said, has she experienced anything paranormal yet? And she went on to tell me that one night her best friend was asleep in that house. She too was a mother. And so her bedroom was where my friend's little boy's bedroom was. So as she was sleeping one night, she was there alone and her husband was not home. She woke up to the covers being ripped off of her in the middle of the night. So of course she freaked out and she packed her bags immediately and moved out. She got herself and her kids out of the house that night and never went back. So of course I shared this knowledge with my then best friend. And I was like, has anything crazy like that happened to you here? And she said, no, we haven't really noticed anything at all. I don't know if me talking about it just made things start happening again or if she just started noticing after that. But that very night we were sitting there talking and we heard a Christmas bear going off in the attic. Like she used the attic for storage. And she had a stuffed animal bear up there and it played Christmas music if you squeezed its hand. So we're sitting there in this creepy old silent house I'm sorry, I'm shaking. I'm freaked out. Just talking about it still really scares me. But we hear the Christmas music coming from the attic, and we're like, what the hell? So she has her husband go and check it out, and nothing's up there, but yeah, the Christmas bear was playing music. So after that, stuff just really started popping off. Walking past her little boy's room just gave you like the worst vibe ever. There were times we would be sitting in the living room, which was like on the other side of the wall to the little boy's room, when none of the kids were home. And you'd hear like their fire trucks making noise and playing music and being thrown across the room or rolled across the floor. And remember, that was the room that my mom's best friend had lived in, and the blankets got ripped off of her in the middle of the night. One day we were sitting in her bed folding clothes. We were going through stuff, so she had a bunch of stuff sitting on her dresser. I mean, it was like piled up with stuff. We're sitting there talking, laughing, and all of a sudden, every single item that is on that dresser gets thrown across the room. So hard that things were broken. That moment right there was probably one of the scariest things I think I've ever experienced. Whatever it was had a lot of force. And although they never noticed anything paranormal before I brought it up, I think it's worth mentioning that at one point in time, her and her boys decided to switch bedrooms. During the 2 weeks that they had switched bedrooms, my friend completely lost her mind and had to go check herself into an insane asylum because she wanted to end her life. When she got back home, they switched back bedrooms and she was fine. I truly think whatever demonic energy was in that room was just like preying on her and draining like all of her energy or something. I don't know. Yeah, I have so many other stories like that if y'all are interested in hearing.
Now with the third one, I have so many questions. Like, what the hell? That ghost was just performing, knocking shit down, playing by itself. I like the ones that's actually caught on camera. I'm enjoying the stories, but so many questions about that one. And then the other girl out there think they was just living in a haunted house and that spirit didn't want them around. And that's what that was. And they should have just hired a priest or something to come bless that house too. You're supposed to bless every house you go in. Let's continue, y'all.
So I had to hop on this trend because I could literally make a whole entire series about all the experiences I have had growing up, especially in the house that I grew up in. But I'll start with one really creepy story that literally gave me chills and still freaks me out to this day. When I was younger, my family had Korean exchange students that lived in our house, and one of the students shared a room with me, so we had a bunk bed, and she took the bottom and I took the top. And during this time, my dad had removed all of the doors to all the rooms in our basement because we were getting new carpet. And so I wanted a little bit more privacy. So for Christmas, my grandma gifted me some door beads, but they didn't come to the floor all the way. They were about a foot off of the floor. And my sister Callie would always come in and just steal my clothes, my makeup, whatever she wanted to use. And I was a pretty light sleeper, so she would slide under the door beads to come in the morning before school and to not wake me up. There was one particular night where my exchange student was visiting her uncle in another state for Thanksgiving, so I was alone in my room. It was nighttime, everybody was in bed, and it was dark, and I heard my door beads. So I looked over and I see what looks like my sister, just like her silhouette, and she's got long, curly hair, and she was crawling on all fours with her hair, and her hair was like hanging in front of her face, and she was crawling on all fours, sliding under the door beads, and I could see the door beads like hitting against her back as she slid under. And once she got under, she like hurried to the end of my bed where the closet was at the foot of my bed. So I was thinking to myself, like, oh, I caught her in the act this time. I'm going to totally tell her that I knew she was stealing my clothes. So I snuck to the edge, to the end of the bunk bed. And I just like, wow, like tried to scare her. And when I looked over the end of my bed, there was nobody there. So I just started screaming, and then my sister ended up running down the hall, and she came in and turned on my light, and she's like, what? And I was just like, and I just freaked out and told her what had happened.
Y'all comment down below which one y'all think is real. And if y'all want to share y'all story, send it to me, and I'll definitely feature you up here. But I think majority of them real because it's a whole bunch of stitches. That's why I'm just putting them all together because I hate going to search for them. But like I said, you always supposed to bless your house. Use a little salt, some what is that, sage, palo santo, all that good stuff. To even incense, just bless your house. Just welcome yourself to the house as well. But as far as any other, do y'all want to keep going or comment down below if y'all want more stories like this. All right, y'all. Till next time.